Hi, everyone. Good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you are joining us for today's webinar. As we allow a minute or so for additional attendees to trickle in, we would love to start engaging with you around today's topic. And with that in mind, we have a starter question. And that question is, what school promotion efforts have you tried? So if you're joining us today from a school or district, or if you are a partner organization, go ahead and use the chat box located at the bottom of your Zoom screen and let us know, is there anything you've tried? We would love to hear this. We would love this to be a space to share ideas. So please go ahead, let us know what you've tried, and we look forward to sharing more ideas as today's webinar goes on. Thank you. I'll love to see these ideas coming into the chat box. Again, for those of you just joining, as we take a moment to let other attendees join the webinar, asking this starter question: what school breakfast promotion efforts have you tried, either in your own school or district, or if you are part of a partner organization that supported these efforts? Seeing a lot of great ideas coming through, many of which we're going to talk about today, and some that we aren't, which is amazing because we want to be able to collect and share as many ideas as possible. So, you guys are typing fast now. Okay, we have social media posts, lucky tray days, offering cold brew as part of a meal for high school students, parent cafe, special events. I cannot keep up with reading aloud that quickly, so I definitely encourage you all to continue reading what your fellow attendees are putting into the chat box, and also continue encouraging you to add your ideas as the webinar goes on. With that, that was our unofficial start. So we're going to go ahead now and move towards our official start. And my colleague Hannah is behind the scenes, serving as our webinar Wizard of Oz of sorts. So Hannah, if you can please move us to the next slide, please. Well, officially welcome everyone to today's webinar. The webinar title is Creating a Buzz About Breakfast, Promotion Strategies for Generating Excitement and Boosting Participation. Admittedly, I always forget to introduce myself. So hi, my name is Kelly. I work on the No Kid Hungry team, and I'm excited to be joining you behind the scenes from wherever you are today. Thank you for joining us. This is one of my favorite topics. I think it's a fun topic, and I think most of us, there's not a lot of fun in work, so it's nice to have some fun. And one of the things I also really love about this topic is that I feel hopeful that there is at least one thing that we're going to talk about today that everyone can do. So I really encourage you to be listening and learning in a way that where you're thinking, I don't have to do all the things, but if I take one idea away from this to go try, that to me is a huge win. Next slide, please, Hannah. So a couple of things to know as we begin, just sort of some logistics elements, and this might go with someone was asking about note-taking here. So after the webinar, all attendees will get an email and you will receive both the slide deck that we're reviewing together, and you will also receive the webinar recording. So of course, note-taking is always encouraged, but don't feel like you have to capture everything. We'll be following up with the recording, the slide deck, as well as some of the resources that will be featured in today's webinar. As y'all have already been doing a great job doing today, to engage with other attendees throughout the webinar, please use the chat box. That's a great way to share ideas with one another, ask questions of your fellow attendees, and if you put something in the chat box, everyone on the webinar can see it. If you have questions for us as the hosts, like for example, if you're having technical difficulties with the webinar, or if you have questions for us, the speakers, please go ahead and use the Q&A box that's at the bottom of your screen. And then lastly, unfortunately, the box is covering the text that says that. But we are very committed to ensuring that our webinars are accessible. So our webinars do have the closed caption option available. So if you would like to turn on the live transcript option, you can select show captions at the bottom of your Zoom screen. With that being said, hopefully we are ready to embark on a successful webinar experience together. So Hannah, please take us to the next slide. As for our agenda today, I'm going to start by running through some resources that No Kid Hungry has to support you in your school breakfast promotion efforts. I'm then going to run through some school breakfast promotion strategy ideas. And then we're going to hear from our guest speaker. Mary is joining us from Bel Air Elementary School in Maryland. And we're going to hear about the many great things that Mary has been doing over the years to promote school breakfast and make it a fun and exciting experience for her students. We'll then wrap up with an opportunity for Q&A. And then as we close out the webinar, we have a brief feedback survey that pops up. We are always very genuinely interested in attendee feedback. It helps us plan our future webinars to ensure that we're covering topics that are of interest to you in a format that you find engaging. So please know that our team really does look at those responses. With that being said, let's get into the content. Okay, as I mentioned, starting here by sharing some resources that we have ready for you to use. We have a school meals marketing toolkit, and this toolkit was created to help you get the word out to students and families about school meals. What I love to say is you do not have to recreate the wheel. If you've ever wondered where to get started, we can help you get started. This toolkit includes both ready to use and customizable materials to help you quickly and easily communicate with students and families. What you see here are some of the images that you'll find in that toolkit. And these are great for posting on social media, but I also say no social media, no problem. That's okay. You can also use these images in newsletters, put them on flyers. These are a great eye-catching way to draw attention to your school meals program and also add a specific message about them, which we'll get to on the next slide. So with that, I really encourage you when you're going to use an example graphic like that, pair it with some text that offers more specifics about your school meals program, or in this case, your school breakfast program more specifically. Within that toolkit, you'll find some sample social media posts so that, again, you don't have to think to yourself, blank page, what do I want to post? Here are some examples for engaging students. It's a great opportunity to share your menu. Let the students know what's going to be served for breakfast, get them excited and planning to come in and start their school day with that item. So a sample social media post here, get your day off to a nutritious and delicious start by eating school breakfast. See what's on the menu this week here. We've done 99% of the work for you. Copy and paste that, drop your menu in, ready to go. Another example here, didn't have breakfast at home this morning, no problem, we've got you covered. Stop by the insert location where you serve breakfast to grab breakfast to go. These are what we sometimes like to call it No Kid Hungry nudges. It's just a friendly reminder to students, families, others that follow social media that school breakfast is there, what's being offered, where to get it. I won't read all of the examples aloud to you, but a couple of these other examples are also opportunities for you to specifically mention what's going to be served on the menu that particular day or the next day. It's also a great opportunity to share fun facts about your menu. And that can be something like, does your menu feature fruit and vegetables that are grown locally? That's a really great opportunity to say, tomorrow there are peaches on the menu that are grown in the county over next to us. So it's really great to just bring a little more personalization to your school breakfast menu. And again, really hopefully entice students to come and participate. Next slide, please. There are also some examples to think about if you're trying to engage parents and families more specifically. Here you can share with them information as well, like kids need food to grow and learn. put in your school or district name, a reminder that y'all serve nutritious breakfast and lunch daily. Learn about our school meal programs here. Here's the link to your school nutrition website, link to the menu. You want to couple with some like encouragement and more information. That's kind of the twofold approach that I recommend taking. We also know that families are generally very busy, particularly in the morning getting out the door. This social media sample is written with that in mind. Do busy mornings make it a challenge to find time for breakfast at home? Encourage your child to participate in school breakfast. Look at the menu to let them know what to expect this week. So again, as I said before, these are nearly ready to use. You can use them as they are and fill in those blanks in green. You can adapt them to meet the needs and wants of your school community. This is again intended to give you a head start so that you don't have to do all of that work on your own. We know everyone on this call is generally very busy. Next slide, please. Another toolkit that we have, which is similar to the toolkit that I was just walking us through, but specific to those of you that are operating programs where meals are free for all students. The toolkit, while broadly framed as the CEP, as in the Community Eligibility Provision Toolkit, can also be used in other non-pricing models. So if your school or district is operating under Provision 2, or if you are operating a program in a state that has universal free meals, these are great promotion materials to remind families and students that breakfast and lunch is free to all students. Just like our other toolkit, it includes downloadable and customizable graphics, posters, and social media posts. And the assets in this toolkit are available in both English and in Spanish. Next slide, please. Now we're going to get into a little bit of some of those ideas I told you that we're going to talk through today when we're thinking about school breakfast promotion strategies. So as you're getting started, I encourage you to think about who you are trying to engage. So be it students, parents and families, teachers, and ask yourself 3 main questions. How can you best reach them? What do you want them to know? And what do you want them to do? And for each of those groups, the answers to those questions might be different. So how can you best reach them? For some of those groups, it might be social media, or it might be a flyer home. What do you want them to know? The information that you share with students and families might be different. It might be similar depending on what it is you're sharing. And what do you want them to do? Students, ideally, you want them to participate in the program. And for the adults, you want them to encourage or enable the students to participate. But really think about those questions specifically, again, to your particular school or district community and how you would answer them in your unique circumstances. Next slide, please. So getting started, as I kind of spoke to in the intro, there's going to be a lot of ideas shared in this webinar. Please don't get overwhelmed by them. Choose one idea, choose a couple ideas, choose a few ideas, whatever feels like the right fit, either for you to get started, or perhaps you've been started and you want to add more to what you're doing. One of the things I also love about this topic is everything here can be adapted. Take it up a notch, take it down a notch, whatever is best for your circumstances. Adapt the ideas to best meet your needs and your goals. Start with something and take on more from there. Next slide, please. So some of the school breakfast promotion strategies, sharing some ideas, and based on the chat earlier, many of you are already doing some of these. And for some of you, these might be new ideas. One of the things that I do want to make sure to preface as we go through all of the ideas in this webinar today, if you have questions about what is allowable, always check in with your state agency. So always check in with your state agency if you're unsure about offering something related to your school meals program. So some of the ideas here, overall challenges. Those can be a really great way to build excitement around school breakfast. Challenges can be good for short-term participation boosts, and ideally are best paired with other strategies for sustained participation increases. Some of the examples of kind of fun things that can fit in with the idea of challenges or just creative ways to engage students and encourage participation. One idea is Lucky Tray Day. That involves placing a sticker or a special mark of some kind at the bottom of select breakfast trays. Students who receive a lucky tray win a prize. For Golden Ticket Day, you can place a golden ticket in select grab-and-go bags, and students who receive a golden ticket win a prize. You can do something like breakfast club cards, where students receive a breakfast club card and collect a sticker or a stamp each day that they eat breakfast. And when the card is complete, students win a prize, or the completed card can serve as a raffle entry. For those of you tuning in that are feeling some worry and saying prizes, that sounds like money I need to spend, we also know that budgets can be tight. I encourage you to think about what options already exist within your school or within your district. Does your school offer something like bucks to the school store? Is there an option for something like no homework passes? I also encourage you to think about opportunities in your community. Do you have a local movie theater where you can ask for free movie tickets? Do you have a local zoo where you can get free zoo passes? Not everything has to involve spending money. So really just thinking about what are perhaps those things that you have access to that you just need to tap into. With that in mind, I will say for anyone tuning into the webinar, if you have engaged your local community for prizes or giveaways, I would love you to share that in the chat with your peers. I'm seeing some answers come in now. I think that's one of the great opportunities to really share with one another, because there are a lot of ways to go about finding the resources for this that don't necessarily involve having dollars available. Next slide, please. Another great thing to consider are contests. So this can be engaging students in a way that builds excitement and generating awareness while helping you promote your program. So it's really win-win here. So that can be working with different clubs or different classes in your school community and engaging students around things like an art or poster contest, a video contest, an essay contest, and really tapping into that educational component of the school setting, of course, but also thinking about how you can really creatively engage students in a way to, as I said, get them excited about the program, but also help promote the program and bring other students into it. Next slide, please. Another idea that I know many schools and districts have taken on is engaging special guests or guest servers. This can be a great option for engaging students and engaging parents and families. I encourage you to think about who the celebrities are in your school community. We're probably not going to get George Clooney to serve breakfast, but there are a lot of celebrities that I bet are going to excite your students. So think about that. Who would students be excited to see to help serve breakfast or join them at their breakfast table? Better yet, ask the students, take out the guesswork. Student engagement is super important. And actually, advanced promo on that, we're going to have a webinar coming up in October on that very topic. But I always encourage you, if you are not sure what students want, ask them. They will be happy to tell you, as I'm sure many of you know. So think about or find out from them, who would they be interested in seeing join them for breakfast or help serve breakfast? That could be asking school administrators. Perhaps kids are excited to see their principal behind the lunch line. Perhaps it's local first responders, athletes, or veterans. Here I included a couple of screenshots from posts from Virginia. There were some schools that invited local veterans to join First School Breakfast in honor of Veterans Day. And you can see there different approaches where some invited local veterans more broadly, and then some schools opted to invite veterans who are family members of current students. There's a lot of way to go about this. Think about local athletes, local sports teams. I suspect there are more celebrities in your school community than you think. Next slide, please. Social media, this has come up in what we've talked about already, where we've given you some starter items here. But think about how you can use social media, be it if there are accounts that exist more broadly for your school or district, or perhaps thinking about if you can create a school nutrition specific account. This can be great for engaging students, parents and families, teachers and administrators. And there's so much that you can do on social media. You can post photos of your menu items. You can announce the menu. You can introduce new items. You can promote special events. You can shout out your staff. You can show what's happening behind the scenes. And again, wondering where to get ideas, you don't have to recreate the wheel. It's very simple. In order to find ideas for this webinar, I typed #schoolbreakfast into various social media channels, and I pulled from there what schools and districts across the country are already putting on their own social media channels. And you can do the same thing. #school lunch, #school meals. Go ahead, see how others are utilizing social media, and think about what you might want to borrow for your own program. Here, for example, is a screenshot where there was an elementary school that was sharing that they were testing out a new breakfast egg bite recipe. What a great way to show what's being tried, show a photo of that, and get people interested and excited about something new that's going to be coming to the menu. Next slide, please. More from my social media search. Found a couple other examples. The one on the left, where it says new breakfast menu item this year, that was actually a video in that tweet. And that was the promotion of a new breakfast item that will be appearing on their menu, chicken sliders. It's a great way, again, to highlight that a new menu item is coming, offer specifics about it, show the team behind the scenes that is putting care into prepping that item. And then here on the right, we have an example, which, as we say here, sometimes evergreen. That means you could do it anytime. A real evergreen example to highlight what is even included in a school breakfast. A great example to highlight what's included, the different components, to really bring a visualization to what school breakfast looks like. And that's particularly helpful when you're thinking about families that aren't in the school every day to see what's being served. It gives them that kind of behind the scenes look at what is being offered to their students. Next slide, please. Some other resources that we have available for y'all to use. These are our Powered by Breakfast posters. As I said earlier, you're going to get this slide deck. You're going to get links to these resources. Think about how you can use, in addition to social media, good old-fashioned paper, posters, flyers, newsletters. Think about the channels that are already existing in your school community. Is there a monthly newsletter that goes home? Are there bulletin boards? Does your school do a Take-Home Tuesday folder? Think about what already exists that you can promote your school breakfast program within. In some communities, the local newspaper is still a great option to share your menu. You know your community best. So think about, again, what are those channels that you have available for use, and how can you put information about your school breakfast program within it? Next slide, please. This is a little bit of an advanced teaser here, but we know how fast time moves. The theme for National School Breakfast Week 2025 has already been announced. So National School Breakfast Week, for those of you that might not be familiar, is a week-long celebration of the school breakfast program. It's always held the first week of March, which in the coming year will be March 3rd through 7th. And each year there is a theme that is announced by the School Nutrition Association. And the 2025 theme is Clue into School Breakfast. The logo is already available in English and Spanish, and you can see that here. And if you stay tuned to that page on the SNA website, in the new year, they're going to have additional resources, including a toolkit and activity guide. So we encourage you to celebrate school breakfast all year long, but if it's more reasonable for you to just pick one week to do it, National School Breakfast Week is a great time. Next slide, please. All right, this is going to be Mary's time to shine. So I'm really excited to introduce y'all today to Mary from Bel Air Elementary School. Bel Air Elementary is a pre-K through 5th grade school 508 students are there, located in Hartford County Public Schools. And Mary and I connected actually in one of the school nutrition Facebook pages. Again, I'm going to shout out all the great ways to find people, source ideas. If you are not a part of them, find Tips for School Meals That Rock and School Nutrition Professionals on Facebook. They're incredible forums where peers are sharing ideas with one another, great places to ask questions, great places to find people like Mary. Mary, do you want to say anything to introduce yourself?
Hi, Mary from Bel Air Elementary. We just kind of have fun here in the cafe. It's not like I'm coming to work. I'm just coming to have fun with food and present it in fun ways that you might not normally see it. But it really is just a fun time that we have when we come into work every day with my team. We're always looking for new ideas, and I get a lot of them off of social media. But I'm so proud that we were picked to be featured on this webinar. It's an honor.
Well, thank you so much, Mary, for joining us today. And I'm glad that I just have the opportunity to sort of offer you this opportunity because these are all of your great ideas. So I would love to ask you a few questions as we get started to help our group really learn more about how you got started and what you do in your elementary school to promote school breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
So the first question is when you and I spoke for the first time, you told me about your sweetheart breakfast in 2019 and how that really started your journey of promotion efforts. Can you tell us a little bit about how that started and how you evolved your plans from there?
Sure. It was just like a fun, a thing that I thought would be fun to be able to invite students, families, or their sweetheart, or whoever they wanted to bring in that day. So we made up tickets and we sold tickets to whoever wanted to sign up for it. And we ended up selling like 100 meal tickets outside of our regular student body that day, just because they wanted to come in and experience breakfast with their student. It ended up being such a big deal, um, more so than I ever thought it would. That um, people were asking, "Can we do this as a 2 day event, or can we, you know, sell more tickets?" And it was just so massive that we just couldn't do anymore like that day. But once I saw that by promoting things and doing fun things, it kind of like pulled everybody in, pulled, families in, and students wanted to come in to see where all the fun was. And um, it just kind of like started from there. So now it kind of scaled back a little bit after the pandemic. So we do like just a sweetheart breakfast with just our students. But I think by doing things like that, it kind of like keeps their attention and wants them to come down in the morning and have some fun.
Mary, thank you so much for giving us that foundation. And tell us a little bit with that in mind, when you think about the school year ahead, you mentioned to me there's something you do in the summer to get your planning going. How do you plan for the themes that you're going to do in the upcoming year?
So I have something fun for every month. So we do, of course, we do National School Breakfast Week, but every month of the year we'll have a special fun breakfast. We'll do a Shamrock Shimmy on St. Patrick's Day, or we'll do. Last year we did one of our local stores gave us a little seed packet so the kids. So we did in the April showers, bring May flowers in April of last year. So we were able to give the seed packet to all the students that came in that day. But I just kind of go through the calendar and I just pick a fun day. I'll go through the promo calendar to see maybe what is like a national food day or anything that we can pick out to celebrate. And then I just go from there. And then that's what my year I'll have everything ready because I planned everything in the summer. So I'll have it all ready for that school year.
Great, Mary, I love that. And in a little while, everyone, Mary will highlight some of those examples. But in the ongoing theme of you don't have to recreate the wheel, there is a celebration day for just about anything and everything you can imagine. So I think it's a matter of taking a peek at what those celebration days are and thinking about if that's a theme that you want to bring into your school breakfast program. Mary, you told me a little bit when we spoke about how you utilize a parent Facebook group, and also you have your very own cafeteria Instagram account. Can you tell me about how you use social media to promote your program?
Yes. So when it's a breakfast event or anything special, we will post that to the PTA page, the PTA Facebook page. We'll do a save the date. You know, when we know we have something coming up, we'll do a save the date, and then the day before, I will post again just as a reminder. Um, so that kind of gets the word out, because I think for elementary, you have to parents make the choice whether or not they're going to be eating in the cafeteria or not. So that's how I can reach parents that way. Instagram is kind of used for like just a fun thing. We'll take pictures of our food or our service lines, and we'll say this is what things look like today in the cafeteria, or any variety of lunch entrees. It could be a fun day, or even if we have like a special fruit, we'll just put the fun stuff on Instagram so that parents can see what's going on in their child's cafeteria. And
Great,
we
thank
just
you
have
so much.
fun. Hmm.
Thank you, Mary. And in a little while in these slides, we're going to share Mary's Instagram account so you all can take a peek at that. And I would encourage anyone on this webinar joining us, if you use social media to promote your school meals program, please go ahead, drop that in the chat so we can all take a peek. Again, there is a school nutrition director, Gay Anderson, if you're out there from South Dakota. I'm sure many of you know Gay, former president of SNA. And Gay taught me several years ago that one of the best things that you can do is R&D, rip off and duplicate. One of the things I love about school meals is you all are not competing for customers here. So it's such a great community to share ideas with one another. And you have so many fantastic ideas. So I encourage you to continue sharing with one another in this webinar and in other platforms that exist. I am loving the different versions of that saying that I'm seeing popping up in the chat. With that, Hannah, can you please bring us to the next slide? And Mary's going to walk us through some of the specific theme days and promotion opportunities she's done in her school. All right, Mary, tell us about International Firefighters Day.
So about 2 years ago, we decided we wanted to have some fun in the cafeteria, and I reached out to our local fire department and asked if they could donate the little plastic hats that you see that they take out to events throughout the county or the state. And they were gracious enough to drop off 150 hats that morning. So we used them. You can see in the bottom left, the students used the hats to collect their breakfast in that morning instead of a tray. They thought it was kind of cool. With year one, we did not have any firefighters come in, but the second year, we had some that offered their time and came in and handed out hats to our guys, and they just had a fun time with that. They weren't really sure what to do with it at first, but they caught on pretty quick, and it was a fun morning.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mary, for that. And uplifting something I just chatted. I said everyone, I'm going to put an asterisk on that. Maybe somebody doesn't have a super local fire department, but somewhere near you, there is a fire department.
Yes.
Think about how you can engage them. Stop in, ask if they have anything fun to donate, or perhaps they want to come serve breakfast. Mary, was able to offer the best of both worlds here in that regard. But going back to what I shared earlier, right? Not a dollar was spent on this fun and creative day. So your local fire department is one of the tips that we hope you take away here. Hannah, next slide, please. All right, Mary, tell us about the Shamrock Shimmy.
All right, the Shamrock Shimmy is always going to be on St. Patrick's Day. So we try to serve everything that's green if we can get it. You'll see we have melon, honeydew melon that we had in that day. I bring all of my decorations from home, most of them, and we just serve, we served breakfast that day on the green plates you can see there, and we gave out a Shamrock pen. But it could be, simple things. It doesn't have to be, crazy expensive. It could be a fun sticker or any, I think decorations kind of like are, make them happy anyway, that we're just acknowledging that day, and we just gave it a fun name. So that kind of like, usually when we have our fun days, it's when the kids want to come in and start their day off on a good foot. So I try to just collect everything the green, during lunch we'll add green veggies, peas, or whatever we can get a hold of that day, and kind of carry that on through lunch as well. So it's all about the green that day.
I love that. Thank you so much, Mary. I think again, right, uplifting the tips here. St. Patrick's Day seems cool enough. Shamrock
Mhm.
Shimmy, way more fun name. Really going
Mhm.
to build that hype. And as Mary was sharing, you're going to be menu planning anyway. Think about what can be green. Think about those small details. You can do this for so many holidays that are already on the calendar. Next slide, please, Hannah. Speaking of holidays, the Sweetheart Breakfast. Mary, tell us a little
Mhm.
bit more about this.
So it's just all about the red that day. We make sure we have many entrees to pick from, as we do during regular breakfast. We do about 4 to 6 entrees that we offer. But this on the Sweetheart Breakfast, we just jazzed up some baskets that I had, and served everything. We can see in the back, I kind of like lifted, propped up the baskets in the back, and the kids just thought it was so crazy, crazy. They weren't used to seeing things presented that way. So we did red plates for for Valentine's Day. Um, Sometimes we'll throw in some red napkins, or anything red that we can find is what we'll use. And that will go, if we can, get red grapes, we will do red grapes or anything red that we can offer. And then we had a fun giveaway that we do. And it can be a heart straw, or anything that has hearts on it to celebrate that day. And it's just a good time.
Great. Thank you so much, Mary. So we've highlighted 2 holidays here. There's a calendar full of them that you all can go look at. And again, think about, what feels like the right fit for your school community. What do you think would be fun? What do you feel like you have the resources to pull off? Again, the theme here is we hope that you'll take at least one idea from this webinar, hopefully more, but start with one, implement that for your school breakfast program. Next slide, please, Hannah. Mary, tell us about the back to school breakfast bash.
So we do this every September. We put together little bags of school supplies. So we give out, for every Friday that we have in the month of September, we will have a fun swag bag to give away. So everyone who comes in for breakfast will get a little ticket that they just have to put their name on, throw it in the bucket for that week, and then we'll pick a name on Thursdays and give them the prize that Friday. And this is just another way to kind of pull some students in. And we do post this on the PTA page as well, that we're going to start our breakfast bash. And we're getting ready to give out our second one tomorrow. I shared earlier that I think we've been in school for 8 days, and so day one we did 12 breakfast, and then today we did 89. So in that little bit of time, numbers kind of like rocketed up. So I gotta kind of give props to the program that we do, and I guess the fun that we have, and we play music in the morning when this is going on. So it's just some fun stuff. And I will shop at like thrift stores, and I'll find things at flea markets, new things, and that's what I use to fill the bags. Our food service department has a lot of things that we can just kind of go shop, and that they offer as giveaways throughout the year, so I can grab some of those things to put in the bag as well. It's
That's
just
awesome.
fun stuff.
Thank you, Mary. And I think I was chatting her too. Remember that your breakfast numbers are going to be relative to your school or district. In Mary's case, these promos are really boosting what breakfast participation is like given their elementary school. So with all of these things, really think about how you can tailor the ideas to again meet the specific needs, wants, opportunities in your school and district. And I see a question that we'll get to in a little while that also speaks to that. Next slide, please, Hannah. All right, Mary, tell us how you celebrated National School Breakfast Week last year. This year, we're still in it, 2020-24, with the theme of Surfs Up with School Breakfast.
So we do giveaways every day during breakfast that week. The giveaways are geared towards the theme. So we had like little spoons that they look like little sand shovels that we gave out day one, or rubber ducks, or anything that was related that I could find that was related to the Surfs Up theme. I think the final day we gave out the activity guide that was on the SNA website, and that was free. And again, we decorate with fun things that are related to the theme that year. This one coming up in 2025 was a little hard. So we have like little mustaches for them. We have tiny magnifying glasses. And another, I think we're going to wrap out the week. We're going to put notes on a bag and tell them to come in and collect clues to fill their mystery bag. So the clues are going to be the entrees and the fruits and things like that. So we'll just color code everything that we can, and that's going to be how they fill their mystery bag for this upcoming year. So it's just kind of fun things like that we like to do, and we promote. Of course, we'll do a save the date I think it's early in March. So we'll do a save the date like late in April or April. I'm sorry, February. But that's how we kind of do that. And then at the end of the week, we will post things on the Instagram page to show parents what we did during the week. So it's just a fun little thing.
I love that. Thank you so much, Mary, for sharing all of this. I think in each of the conversations we've had, you bring up the word fun a lot. And I think these are just all such great examples of how school meals programs, school breakfast specifically, we know that these are really important programs. They're nutritious programs, but there's also a lot of opportunity for these to be fun programs.
Mm-hmm.
Next slide, please. I think this is going to be our last example for now, Mary. Tell us a little bit about how you use spring break as a theme.
So we fill those little eggs with the tiny erasers that you can find, or you can have stickers, anything that you can fit into a little egg. We will do it, and we will put them in a big basket and put them on the line. And as the kids come down, they get to grab an egg, and that's how we just send them off into their spring break. And that's just a good time. It's fun.
Well, I love that. Theme is fun. The theme is embracing occasions and holidays and themes that are already on the calendar, and finding the opportunity that exists within your capacity, within your budget, that meet the needs and interests of your school community. And as I've been saying, something for everyone here, or that's what I hope you're feeling behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. Next slide, please. So I just wanted to give a shout out here to Mary's Instagram, specific to her cafeteria. And also, before we wrap up, I also want to give a shout out to Mary. This is Mary's first webinar as a guest speaker. So I just want to give Mary a big shout out for joining us today and sharing all of these great and creative ideas that she's been doing in her elementary school and sharing those with all of us today. So just a big thank you, Mary, for joining us. And
thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about your Instagram and how you operate it. I know you've spoken a bit to it, but anything you want to close us out with related to it?
It's just all fun. Feel free to go in there and look at things. I like to look at other schools' Instagram accounts to see how they might plate something up, or I don't think food has to be so, cut and dry. I just think there's so much room for creativity and the way that you present things to students, because I think they eat with their eyes first. So I think this is how I can get the word out to parents and let them see exactly what we have. I don't have anything to hide in my cafeteria. We just put it all out there and they can see the fun that we try to have every day. And I think it's been a great help to our little school here in Bel Air.
Well, it seems like it is a really great program and that your students are really lucky to have you behind the scenes with your creative and fun ideas. So again, Mary, huge thank you for joining us and sharing these great ideas with our group today. Attendees, we are just nearing the end of our time together. If there are any final questions that you want to ask me and Mary, send those our way, please, in the Q&A box. And then in the chat, I love an active chat on a webinar. Webinar chats can be really varied. Sometimes they're very quiet, sometimes they're not. This is really nice to see. I love seeing all of you that have shared your own social media handles, examples of how you've been promoting your programs. So we'll go through that after the webinar as well to see what we can uplift for all of you. But I encourage you to continue looking through the chat to see what's there. I'm going to quickly speak to 2 questions I've seen so far. One question that came in behind the scenes in our Q&A box related to Golden Ticket Day and what to do when you have 200 schools. The question asked, how do you pick schools? How do you promote without upsetting certain schools or principals? Very valid questions. I think here, this is one of those examples where, again, you know your district best. Think about where you can get started. It's unlikely that you're probably going to be able to do something for all 200 schools at once. So think about what feels best in your particular situation. Do you perhaps want to start at the schools that have lower breakfast participation, where you know a promotion like that is really going to be needed to help attract more students? Do you want to group it out where perhaps you start a promotion like that with your elementary schools? Or perhaps you really have a need engaging high schoolers. So I encourage you to really ask yourselves those questions to think about what you're specifically trying to do and how you can get yourself there. I would say, just like the kind of overarching theme I brought us back to, don't feel like you have to start all in one. Have that plan to take it on piece by piece. And hopefully by having that plan and communicating it, you can limit the upset for those people because you're like, we're not doing it right now, but we're aiming to get there. And in a similar-ish sentiment, thinking about those older students, middle and high schoolers, somewhere in the chat box, there was a question here about how to engage middle and high school students, really struggling to engage those students. So I'm going to bring us back to something that I had said earlier in this webinar. Engage those students, ask them for their feedback. Let's see how quickly I can pull this link for you all. We actually have a really great resource at No Kid Hungry called a student feedback toolkit. And this is, as our other resources that I've shared with y'all today, you don't have to start with a blank page. You don't have to recreate the wheel. And the toolkit that I'm about to link you to here has resources for surveying students, for hosting discussion groups with your students. So if you're wondering how to engage them, go ahead and ask them. And actually, Hannah, if you can bring us to the next slide, please. One more. Actually, we're going to hold here for a second. I'm going to tell you all about this webinar in a moment, but on the next slide, I'm going to share information about how you can stay in touch with No Kid Hungry already. But my colleague Janine is planning a great webinar that's going to happen in October, and it is going to be specifically on the topic of engaging students. And it's really exciting. Janine is actually going to have some student speakers on that webinar, and they're going to have some really great ideas about how they want to be engaged, how they want to offer feedback on these programs. So I encourage you to be on the lookout for more information about that webinar. And then in between where we are today and that one, registration is open for the next breakfast webinar in our Back to School series. That's going to be on Tuesday, September 24th. And that is going to be on the topic of boosting breakfast participation, breakfast after the bell, and other strategies. So the speakers on that webinar will be highlighting strategies like second chance breakfast kiosks, food trucks, and farm to school as different strategies that they're using in their schools and districts to boost breakfast participation. Next slide, please. As we get ready to close out, hopefully neither of these things are unfamiliar to you, but in case they are, definitely encourage you all to just subscribe to our newsletter. We have a monthly newsletter called the What's New newsletter that includes information about upcoming webinars, resources, etc. And we have a full website where you can find information on the variety of child nutrition programs, as well as resources to support you in those programs. And then lastly, last slide, please. I mentioned at the start of the webinar that your feedback is very, very appreciated. When we close out this webinar in your browser window, a short 5-question survey will open. I really ask you to please complete that. It really helps us to know, are we providing webinars on the topics that interest you? Are the formats engaging? My team hears this from me a lot. We are not bored. We want to make sure that we're spending our time on the right things and are being most helpful and most interesting to you. So I encourage you when this ends, please take a moment to complete that for us. As I also said earlier, you will get within the coming days, this slide deck, the recording of the webinar, and also that email will pull out the links to the resources that we shared. So more to come on all of that. A big thank you to all of you who joined us as attendees for today's webinar. Again, big shout out for the chat. Really appreciate you seeing you all engage with one another and engage with us. And again, Mary, a really big thank you for you joining us, sharing your great ideas, and congrats on your first webinar.
Thank you. It was fun.
Fun. That's what we want it to be. On that note, thank you, Mary. Glad you have fun. Encourage all of you to think about how you can infuse fun in your school breakfast programs. My wish for you all, as I've said already today, I hope you try at least one new idea from here. And if you do, let us know. We'll make sure one of our emails is in that follow-up email so that you can let us know. But sharing is caring with these ideas. So thank you all very much. Enjoy the rest of your days, and we'll be in touch with some follow-up.